So guys, when I did the series of tarot meanings, it's on my YouTube. I have all of them except for the major arcana cards, and for some reason I was held back to do the major arcana cards, and I never really understood why until just now. Actually, I was just talking about the symbolism of the magician. I have to stop the recording and start all over again because he's wearing red and white, and one of my realizations that I've had this year is that the red and white obviously is Amanita muscaria mushroom, that, and I have a video linked that I'm going to share with you guys, but it's also on my website, so please look at it. I've written everything down about the vision quest, how it's linked to that particular mushroom, how our ancestors used it, how it became gate-kept information by religious elites, which is really political elites. It's the same thing. So they kept the sort of the benefit of the vision quest for themselves, but everyone else was just told to go and worship someone. You know what I mean? And that's destabilized us. The magician is dressed up as a mushroom as well, white and red. So this is really the card for the vision quest, and he is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is the Roman equivalent of Odin, and Odin is the deity of the vision quest. He is a spirit. His name means spirit. His name actually means like a frenzied spirit, but it's motivation, pure motivation. So he's a personification of the motivation you need to go on the vision quest. Because you need a bit of courage to go on the vision quest. It's not for the faint-hearted, And so I always connected the magician to Odin without really fully understand why, but I do understand now. It's of course, even with everything I've said about Loki, I did a very long post about Loki, and he's connected to, I realized when I went down the rabbit hole with Loki that he's Yggdrasil, and Yggdrasil is, in the tarot, the world is ruled by Saturn. So the world, Yggdrasil is a world tree. But then when I looked into Loki, I realized that he is Saturn. He is actually the same as the Roman god Saturn. And the reason I know that is because he used to be written Lödur, which gave his name to Lördag, meaning Saturday. It's Norse for Saturday. So he actually is Saturn, and Saturn rules the World Tarot card, and there are many, I have lots of proof of how he is Yggdrasil. I've done a full video and post on it, so please check it out. So these major arcana cards are connected to the vision quest, which is, of course, before I even realized this, I had written the book about spiritual meaning, but it was all leading into that we are being now encouraged more and more to do the vision quest. We're meant to be back on the vision quest. And the tarot, whoever invented the tarot obviously knew this very well. I don't know who invented this system. It's a genius system, and it connects straight back to the Roman gods, to the Norse gods, to the mushroom, to the vision quest. The symbolism is full of vision quest symbolism. So please go and check out that post. It's a very important post. If you get the magician, you're meant to be whole and complete within yourself as much as possible. And what that means is that you become the best version of you. There is I do think that the major arcana cards are also our guides. If you get the magician, you're most likely guided to step up in some way. And the way he signals also with his hand, as above, so below. He's also number 1. So becoming number 1, being the best that you can be. There is his belt is an Ouroboros, that's a symbol again of Creator Wall. He's deeply connected to Source, the red flowers and the white flowers. It is a mushroom. It's also the masculine and the feminine as well. The yellow background gives this card a lot of energy. So it speaks of your mind, being very powerful in your mind. And general reading, it basically speak of you being able to innovate. You are able to grab opportunities, sell yourself. It's actually a really good sales card because you believe so much in what you're doing that other people get interested in it as well. Very skillful, very confident. Gift of the gab. This is a card for the communicator. You're able to pull people in to get the desired outcome. If you get it in a love reading, I've spoken about the magician in love, and you can speak of your most compatible divine soulmate, primary soulmate, if you get it upright. But there's always a bit of a lesson here with the magician, that you learn to be very discerning, also in love, so that you don't lose yourself in a relationship. This is someone who is able to move in very intense relationships without losing himself. But it's definitely a card of meeting the one when it speaks of love. And also what I found with the magician, that other people can have a lot of opinions about your relationship when you're with the magician. And they often want to be like, this is not the right one for you, because it is a relationship that makes you grow a lot. So there's a bit of, tension there for growth, because you're with someone who's intelligent, who challenges you. If you're with someone who has a personality disorder, of course, I'm not talking about those relationships. I'm talking about relationships that makes us grow, with people who are very intelligent, who are skillful, who pulls us up to become better. That growing period you're changing. And there could be people who are used to you being a certain way who will have a bit of problem with that. So just be aware of that. In a career reading, then the magician basically is the same thing. You're in a job where you grow. It can mean a job in sales and communication, but you have to think on your feet a lot. This is a job that will make you very, very skillful, and whatever is your gifts and abilities can really come out. But also you're discovering new gifts and abilities that you just didn't know you even had. That's often the case also. But it does also speak of innovation. It also can be that you're a bit challenged in, like if you're self-employed especially, and you have to think, how can I grow? Because what I'm doing is not working, but what is not working is the answer, because that's when you have to innovate. As yes and no, it's more likely a yes. The magician, hello. The magician speaks of someone as feelings. The magician speaks of someone who gets you. As feelings, the magician speaks of someone who really gets you. So obviously that feels really good. Okay, so magician and personality types. Magician as a person speaks of someone who can manifest really easily, who they have very good smooth talkers, and they have the ability to get you interested in what they're interested in. So they're really good at selling. Their enthusiasm is really, really infectious, and so basically they can sell sand in the desert if they want to. They dream big, and they are the movers and the shakers. But it's also a card for using your brain. So it's someone who's very good at thinking. This is someone intelligent. They're playing smart, and they work smarter, not necessarily harder. So it's a little bit similar to Two of Pentacles. That's Two of Pentacles as well. Very innovative. This is someone who wants to have fun. So it's not like they feel like they're even working. If they are career oriented, but they don't want to feel like they're working. They want to innovate. They want to be excited, and they want to be in a stimulating environment, and they'll make their environment that, because that's what they need it to be. So you could be a trendsetter if you are a magician archetype. If it's reversed, it's someone who maybe they have a lot to offer, but they're unable to access it for whatever reason. So a situation, then it can be like a false promise. It can be a dodgy car salesman, like a fraudster. It can be false possibilities, but sometimes it just speaks of misunderstanding. It can mean that you don't have all your resources for whatever reason to make your dreams a reality, and you need to do a bit more planning. Because when the magician is upside down, all the tools fall off the table. So maybe you find that no one takes you seriously, but it could also be your belief that you think that no one will take you seriously. So have a look at what you're believing about yourself. And maybe you feel like life is generally just a little bit confusing, but because this is a vision quest card, if you do feel like that, go deep within yourself and ask yourself for what is it that you truly want deep down? Because maybe you're stopping yourself because you know, you think you want something, but deep down you actually don't want it. So question your motives if you get Magician reversed. If it is a personality type and you get Magician reversed, it could be someone who don't follow through, who is maybe a con man or a love fraud. It could be someone who don't believe in themselves and they feel like they have to manipulate to get their way. They don't think that anyone will give them what they want unless they manipulate. So they learn to use manipulation. But it's actually a lack of confidence, and it's often due to misunderstandings again. It could be that they bury their head in the sand, you know, Magician reversed. So they could be very messy, you know, the table is turned upside down, and ideas live and die in their heads. And it could also be someone who wants something from you. So if you get the Magician reversed, then it's really negative. It could be that someone wants something from you and maybe they want money, actually resources. If you get that you are a Magician reversed person, it could be that you are... So have a look at your motives a little bit. Are you manipulating to get your way, or are you genuine? Do you believe in yourself, or do you feel like you have to pretend? Do you feel like you have to live behind a mask? Do you have to feel like you have to be like a showman, or do you feel like people will accept you for who you are? So question your motives a little bit if you get this card reversed. This is a beautiful card though, and you can absolutely turn a reverse magician right way up. Communication is the key, and it makes the seeker, when you're in this initiation, it makes the seeker feel really, really happy. So if you are getting it in advice position, you know, in the third position, I do teach the Celtic cross in my book. If you get it, the magician in the advice position, it means communication is what makes you come alive, talking about things that are interesting to you. Maybe you are a teacher, or maybe you are a salesman, or maybe you have some kind of innovation, a product, an idea that you meant to actually bring it forward to people. So if you get it in the subconscious, you know, it's a very positive sign that you are able to manifest in every situation you're in, especially the situation you're asking about. So this is why the Celtic cross is the most powerful, you know, spread. And I have a tutorial how to use it, a short one, but also I teach it in the book as well. Okay, guys, I love you so much. And the next card is the High Priestess. Bye.